Good evening, all of you. I hope everyone is fine and safe at home. So today we have a speaker from uh, Abhishek. There any disturbance?
Yeah, Dhiren, I'm there.
Well, okay, okay. So we have a speaker from Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, Mr. Shailendra Dixit. So he will be taking the session on topic power of SIP. Uh, Mr. Shailendra, I'll just introduce that Mr. Shailendra is serving currently as a zonal manager for investor education and distribution development at Aditya Birla Sun Life. He carries a rich experience of 15 years in channel sales and corporate sales for mutual funds, general insurance, and business planning. So he has completed his MBA from Symbiosis Institute of Business Management, Pune, and electrical engineering from Pune University. So I just like to welcome Shailendra. I want to thank you on the behalf of Nirmal Bang employees and associates, so that you can just take it forward from here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dhiren. I hope I'm clearly audible.
Yeah, you are absolutely fine.
Thank you. Thanks, Dheeraj. And thanks to the entire Nirmal Bang team for organizing this training today. It's always a pleasure to interact with. I'm facing some broadband issues, so I'll just prefer to keep my video off if it is okay.
Yeah, no problem, Shailendra.
Okay, thanks. It's always a pleasure interacting with Nirmal Bang and its associates. Today's presentation, the main topic is SIP. The focus of discussion is SIPs. What we found that in the market currently there is surely a lot of chaos regarding investments. SIPs especially have been the flavor of the season for the past 3 to 4 years, especially after demonetization. But then currently we are seeing the volatility in markets and negative returns in SIP. So we thought let us address that issue directly head on. The two main questions that investors are facing, that should I stop my SIP, because not just three, even the 5-year SIP has gone negative. And second is, should I change my scheme? Fair enough, I would like to carry on with the SIP, but this particular scheme is not doing well, typically on the mid cap side or the small cap side, and I think I should change my scheme. So these two questions are very pertinent questions which we are facing in the market. So we thought let us address them directly and let us look at the basics of SIP also. So for that, we created this presentation. Just give me a minute, I'll share the presentation. I hope the presentation is visible to all.
Yeah, Shailendra. Perfect.
Thanks. So what we thought is, what should we name the presentation? That was the first thought that came to our mind. कि नाम क्या रखे presentation का? And most of the names were correlated to Corona. For some reason, it came wealth creation during COVID, or how to overcome Corona through SIP and stuff like that. And we said Corona has a negative connotation to it now. So let us go with a positive name and a positive approach. So we decided to give the name Time to Experience the Power of SIP. And this is the time when your SIP is really going to deliver the returns for you. When the markets are volatile, the real power of SIP comes out. So this is no way or no time or no reason to get out of the SIP. Hence the name is Time to Experience the Power of SIP. It's into two parts. First 10 minutes quickly we'll have a equity market update. And then, as I said, we'll try to answer those two questions: why not to stop the SIP and why not to change the scheme. We'll look at certain basics of SIP. Most of them, frankly, are behavioral aspects and two are technical aspects. We'll also be looking at some historic data of the market behavior. So let us start the presentation. As I said, the first part is the equity market update. A quick update on equity markets. This is a snapshot of equity from our side. As you can see, the global and the domestic macro and economic growth is very, very weak. It is negative. RBI in its meeting 3 weeks back when the repo rate went to 4 had already declared that this year the growth will be negative. So anybody's guess how much the GDP will go negative this year, 5%, 10% or 15%. With every passing day, things are getting more and more grim for the economy, broad economy, and hence the prospects of the extent of negativity of growth is increasing. Naturally, with negative GDP, what is GDP? Gross domestic product. It is basically the sum of all the economic activity in the country. Like you are using broadband now, it goes into GDP. You have a cup of tea that gets calculated in GDP, plus the exports that you do. So naturally, when GDP is negative, the corporate earnings will be negative. The corporate earnings will be negative because the top line, that is the sales or revenue, is going to fall drastically. Also, hence, revenues or the profits are going to be negative this year. We'll have a quick sectoral look also in the slides in the forthcoming slides. But the earnings are going to be negative. The good part is because of the fall in the market, the valuations are attractive now. If you look at PE, price to earnings, price to book, or market cap to GDP, all the three ratios are showing we are currently at an average level. We are at a 15-year average. When markets are at around 34, 35, we are at an average level in terms of PE, price to earnings, price to book, and market cap to GDP. The GDP last year, some figures to share. The GDP last year was 205 lakh crores. The market cap in January was about 165 lakh crores. So we are at 80% of the GDP. And 165 to 205 is about 80% of the GDP is what the market cap was. Today the market cap is around 130. And if the GDP is going to fall by 10%, we are still at the similar average 80% market cap to GDP levels as of now. So PE, PB market cap to GDP is at average levels, historic average levels. So you can look at equity at these times. The fifth point is most important, that the sentiments and flows are neutral. The sentiment is actually getting better because the fear of corona has reduced drastically. The fear of corona has reduced drastically. What we are seeing right now is more concern on the economic impact, but the mortality of corona has been low. The mortality is along with comorbidity and stuff like that. The percentage mortality is less than 5%. Globally, it is almost 5%. The number of cases, though they are shooting up, the percentage mortality still stays at 5%. So that getting factored in, I think by and large, as we know, market is a very sensitive animal. Hence the name is also Sensex, sensitive index. The market has already sensed that the fear of corona is less, but the economic impact is very high. So the sentiment is better than before. The flows in the market hence have improved. Just a few numbers for all of us to get the confidence in market. In the month of Feb and March, FIIs redeemed 72,000 crores from Indian markets, equity markets, and 40,000 crores from Indian debt markets. So total of 112 lakh crores was redeemed. 1.12 lakh crores was redeemed from Indian equity and debt. It was converted from rupee to dollar, hence the rupee also fell. So the amount of money which went out of Indian equity markets is 72,000 crores. 72,000 crores. Mutual funds saw a net sales of 6,000 crores in April, another 5,500 crores in May. So mutual funds, just mutual funds, not insurance, got about 12,000 crores, which is 1/6 of the money which we have. 1/6 of the money we have been able to get back just through mutual funds. And in the month of June, we saw FIs has put in 20,000 crores back into Indian markets because internationally the rates are going low. In India, the rates are still decent. And the Indian market was very attractive. When it was at 30,000, it was very attractive. So two reasons. One is the local domestic flows, which were contributing to the economic, to the market recovery, plus the FIs thought they will lose out on this opportunity. The FOMO, fear of missing out, was there for FIs also, hence they came back to India and the markets have recovered. So the flows are quite okay. The valuations are average. The fundamentals are not so good and the sentiment is recovering. So that is broadly what we need to remember when we interact with our investors. This is surely for April. For May, we will update it. But if you see, in the month of April, there was a smart recovery, just like in the month of June. The good part is the recovery was secular. We saw recovery in large, mid, and small. All three indices we saw good and equal recovery, though early, but it's a good indicator because last 3 years only the top 10 stocks were doing well. The broad market was not doing well. So currently the market fell so heavily on small and mid, as you can see, that they also became attractive and money entered there also. So a good and an early sign, but broad recovery across all the three indices. Because the RBI has cut rate twice and the current repo rate, the repurchase rate is 4. Bonds have given very good returns. As you see, double-digit returns bonds have given. Basically, what repo means, the full form is repurchase rate. RBI is offering soft loans, or basically RBI will lend to banks at the rate of 4% for medium to short term, that is up to 3 years. Banks can raise money from RBI at 4% to help boost the economy. This money they can use to lend to individuals like you and me who want to say buy a home loan or auto loan, or to companies who want to restructure their loans. So about 8 lakh crores is available with RBI to the banking system through the rate cut. When rates are cut, the bond prices go up, hence the bond markets have given good returns. Even now we are saying that transmission is not complete of the rate cut into bond prices, so you can still look at bond funds, especially on the AAA side, to beat FD returns, because FD of a PSU has gone down to 5.5. Gold has given phenomenal returns, but you have to remember one thing. As I said earlier, there's a currency angle to that. Of the 40% returns, 10% is currency, because rupee has gone from 70 to 77. It has fallen 10%. So as and when this money comes back, 1,12,000 crores which went, whenever it comes back, you will see the gold prices also will appropriately adjust themselves. So do invest in gold, but remember the rally has already happened and there is a 10% booster of the currency. So please keep that in mind when you think of gold. We import gold and oil. The oil is at an all-time low, very good for the economy. The fiscal deficit, current account deficit, to keep inflation low. The petrol prices and diesel prices don't reduce because currently the government has only one big source of income, and that is the fuel price. So it does not get passed on to you and me, because 1,000 rupees extra with us does not boost the economy. 1,000 rupees extra with the government from each person really adds on to the kitty, which helps the government do its functioning. May it be social benefits like that we are running, or the Shramik trains that we are running, or the infra work that the government is doing. Earnings will be negative this year, 5 to 10% is what we're expecting. But all is not lost. There are certain sectors which are high impact and certain sectors are low impact. The list is in front of you, self-explanatory. The worst hit is hospitality. Just one additional information I'll give you in hospitality. It is surely tourism, which is a main part of hospitality. But you have to remember, in India, the month of April, May, June, or the summer season is also the Shadika season. So the wedding season has been totally wiped off and it is not coming back. So that expenditure or that consumption is not coming back. It's totally wiped off. So that is the highest impact. Aviation, real estate, auto, self-explanatory. In auto, the silver lining is agricultural goods, that is your tractors, trailers, dumper, tiller. Those vehicles are doing well because crop production was bumper, and the corona impact on rural economy is very less. On the rural side is very less. So we are seeing good recovery there and good recovery in the earth moving segment also, JCBs and stuff like that. Even there, the impact is low. IT, high impact because business comes from foreign countries which are in recession or slowdown. Banking, financial, NPA problem. Media, offline is badly affected. Online is doing fantastic. So all those people who saw your Patal Loks, Asur or Money Heist, basically you saw it online through Netflix, or people who watch Doordarshan and watch Ramayan. So online media did very well. Television did very well. But print media, events, movies, films, television, uh, multiplexes, very, very badly affected. So it's moderate. Consumer discretionary, low ticket, well placed, low impact. You can read the article what were the goods which were ordered on Amazon on day one, and that gives us insight into how the recovery is happening. So people ordered mobiles, chargers, cables, trimmers, because the barber shops are closed, t-shirts, pajamas, chappal, juta, and all that stuff, because no one is going to stop spending that 1,000, 2,000 rupees because of corona. So low ticket expenses are less impacted. Mixer, juicer, grinder, and stuff like that. So people are cooking more at home. Utilities, telecom has been a big beneficiary because all work is happening on 3G, 4G, what we are doing currently. Pharma and healthcare, self-explanatory, low impact. Consumer staples, especially FMCG and especially packaged food. You would have read the Parle-G article, how smart the recovery Parle-G saw in quarter 1, the highest sales they did ever in their life. In 8 years of their existence happened in Parle-G in last quarter. So some sectors have done well. They've been able to see through well. Some are very heavily affected. Hence, we are expecting a negative earnings growth. But the year after this, one says the recovery would be quite smart. More important is asset allocation. I think we have always realized the importance of asset allocation, but now it has come out very strongly. Asset allocation is not to maximize the returns. You have to remember, you have all done a fantastic task of coming to financials in terms of investment, shifting from physical assets to financial assets. Now the next step for us to do is to shift or to upgrade ourselves to doing asset allocation. For example, if you had a 60-30-10 equity, debt, and gold allocation, your equity has fallen 25%, say from 60, it has come down to 45, lost 15 rupees. But the 30 of your debt is currently going at 36. The gold of 10 is going at 16, 17. So the loss of 15 in your equity is overcome by the gains that you made in debt and gold. So your losses eventually are low or zero, but you also get a chance to rebalance your portfolio, shifting from your debt and gold to equity at lower levels of equity. So your asset rebalancing can be done, your risk can be minimized, and over a longer and shorter duration, you can beat inflation. So we all need to now move up, upgrade ourselves, and start doing asset allocation with the view of reducing our risk, not maximizing our returns. It is with a view of reducing risk and beating inflation. It is a bit like a balanced diet. You require your carbs, protein, fat, fiber, all sort of taste, sweet and sour, and spicy and stuff like that. So as your thali is balanced, your asset allocation has to be there for your financial health. But I request all of you to please start looking at asset allocation very, very seriously. Now the main question, should I invest in equity? The main mistake most people would do, the most common mistake is waiting for a correction. You'll always wait for a correction, you'll straight out, you'll never enter. Market went to 26,000, you missed it totally. Market went to 30, you missed it totally. At 35, you're thinking whether you should enter. So people have lost more money trying to time the market rather than time spent in the market. So I think that is what you need to keep in mind. Don't try to time the market. Just stay in the market. You'll make money. In case you are not sure about the market, look at debt funds. I've already said the rate cut is not yet transmitted completely to bond prices. So all AAA bond funds, we have a lot of good schemes over there. In debt, in balance advantage, and equity saving, you can still beat inflation, which is going to be very low this year. So you can look at debt funds also still and keep it for 3 years to get the indexation benefit. In case you're bullish on equity, then if you're looking at lump sum, be ready for volatility. We have seen how markets have been volatile. In past 3 months, you have seen the levels of 42 and 26. So within 1 month, we have seen, within 3 months, we have seen such volatility. And such a heavy fall has never happened in the history of Indian markets. That markets have fallen 30% in 60 days. It has taken much longer than that. So such sharp, steep falls have never happened in the Indian market. And we are still getting adjusted to the new normal. So if you're okay with volatility, only then invest lump sum. Else you stick to the SIP STP route. STP is systematic transfer plan. You invest your money in a liquid fund, get good returns there, and weekly or monthly basis shift your money from liquid to equity schemes. You want to invest 10 lakhs over the next 10 months. Put 10 lakhs in a liquid scheme. Every month 1 lakh will be shifted, or every week 25,000 will be shifted. So you give an instruction every week 25,000 for the next 40 weeks, and you're done. So your money will be shifted from liquid scheme to your equity scheme over the next 10 months. And in the meanwhile, whatever balance money stays in the liquid fund, you earn the interest on that. So that is what you should do in equity, is what our suggestion is. That was a quick equity update. GDP will be negative, earnings will be negative, but certain sectors are okay, certain are high impact. The sentiment is getting better gradually, much better than what you see in the news. The flows are surely far better than what we thought. Why it is, we will discuss in the next few slides. The fundamentals are weak, the sentiment is okay, and the flows are good. So that is the current reality of the equity market. So just keep that in mind when you invest in equity. Because of rate cut, bonds are also good avenue to invest in. And if you're investing in gold, remember the currency angle. Remember the currency risk. Now the main part of the presentation, we will start. Time to experience the power of SIP. As I said, there are few behavioral powers that we will be discussing, behavioral aspects of SIP, and two technical aspects of SIP, how SIP delivers the returns, and how that power is getting executed right now. The first power of SIP is currently there in this presentation itself. It's in front of me. This fantastic focus crowd of 84 people, 85 people that we have in front of us is the first power of SIP. Because all of you as advisors or as investors have contributed to creating the SIP. What is SIP book? The 100 people, each person does a SIP of 1000. Together, they create a SIP book of 1 lakh. So together, they invest 1 lakh in equity market through SIPs, in equity mutual funds. So currently, the SIP book of Indian market is about 8,000 crores plus. The first power of SIP is the power of SIP book created by you. So you all are the first power of SIP. Why I'm saying that is the first power of SIP? Because in month of April and May, there's a total lockdown. All the shops and stores are closed, but the financial system is on. Markets are on, banks are on, your SIP continued. You can see the figure in front of you. In April, we had 8,300 crores coming in form of SIPs. So this, frankly, my friends, is the first and main reason that the markets have recovered the way they have recovered. The recovery which you have seen, the first and main reason is the SIP book. The figures I shared with you in the month of April, net sales 6,000 crores. In May, another 5,000 crores. The gross sales in April was about 14,000 crores. Redemption was 8,000 crores, and hence you saw a net of 6,000. Had this SIP book not been there, believe me, the markets would have sunk furthermore, and we would have been totally dependent on FIIs for the fate of our markets. Only when they felt good, they would have come back. So globally, when they felt India is good enough, only then they would have come back to Indian markets. But the SIP book really helped us in a big way. You do the simple maths. I told you earlier one figure, 72,000 crores left India in equity markets through FIs. Of that 12,000 crores, mutual alone put it back into the market in 2 months of April and May. So 1/6 of the money I put it back in 2 months. In month of June, I would have put in another 12,000 crores because the net sales is improving this month. Plus the FIs also put in 20,000 crores. Of the money which went, 1/3 money came back. So of the market which fell by 15,000 points, currently it is down only 7-8,000 points. जितना पैसा गया उसका लगभग 40% पैसा वापस आ गया. So if the money comes back 40%, the market ought to recover 40%. It's a simple cash inflow outflow scenario. If you start buying, the markets have to recover. So the first power of SIP is this SIP book, which will continue to deliver itself. Even in the worst of lockdown, we got 8,000 crores, and I've lost 72,000 crores. I can recover that money in another 7-8 months time, in a total of 7-8 months time. FIs also realized that, and they had to rush back to India much faster than earlier, much faster than what happened in 2008. So currently, one word we hear a lot is Atmanirbharta and ban Chinese good and Chinese apps and stuff like that, but you don't have an alternative there. But I believe Indian markets are Atmanirbhar to a great extent now. For the first time in history, we saw that Indian citizens started taking back the control of their equity market through SIPs in equity mutual funds. They are Indian companies driven by Indian consumption, but the benefit was to someone else up till now because Indians did not buy their own companies. They did not know which is a good stock, which is a bad stock. So they stayed away from the markets. But now they came to mutual funds. They did not know what is a good time to invest. Market acha kab hai, bura kab hai, I don't know. Markets are volatile. I don't know which is the good level. So I did a SIP to overcome that. And that has created a movement in itself, which is really making the Indian market self-reliant. Not just self-reliant, we might become so big that we might become FIs in our own sense and start investing abroad. So the first power of SIP, and I can't thank all of you enough, all the fantastic 86 people who are there, 85 people who are there on this presentation. You guys have done wonders. आप सबने कमाल कर दिया. आपने SIP book बनाया, जिसने market को बचा लिया, market को संभाल लिया और market को संवार भी लिया. The market has recovered, market has been supported by the SIP book. So please stay invested. You did a SIP for your personal benefit and gain and wealth creation, but it has become a huge movement now of reclaiming our own Indian markets. So please remember that is the first power of SIP. Your SIP is keeping the market afloat. Please don't leave the SIP. The second power of SIP, the second power of SIP is again you only as a consumer. All the people who are attending this presentation are consumers also, are the drivers also of the Indian economy. You see this consumption clock in front of you. Right from the time you wake up till the time you sleep, you are consuming goods, products, services, and brands. At this point of time, I'm consuming BSNL Wi-Fi, someone is consuming a Jio or a Airtel or a Idea. So we are always consuming some product, brand, and service that leads to the top line and hence the bottom line of these stocks. And these stocks deliver and the broad market delivers. As I said earlier, the main purpose of investment is to defeat inflation. महंगाई को beat करना है. The reason you invest. Why is inflation caused? Because consumption goes up. If the demand goes up, there's a price rise. As an investor, you got to ask only 3 questions in days to come. Over a longer period, will inflation go down? It sounds funny. Will population go down? Surely the answer is no. And will consumption go down? These 3 questions only you need to ask. Will population, what is your outlook on population growth? What is your outlook on consumption growth? And what is your outlook on inflation? If all the 3 answers are yes, there is no way you can stay out from the equity markets. Because it is consumption that leads to inflation. It is consumption that leads to inflation and eats into the value of your money. We know that. Your value of your money reduces because of inflation. But that inflation also causes these stocks to do very well. So inflation, which is your adversary, your enemy, when it comes to putting money in debt, becomes your best friend, best ally when you come to equity markets. It is this inflation that leads to growth of various companies. For example, Madam Maggie. Amount of Maggie that was consumed 10 years back, the quantum has gone up drastically in past decade, plus the price also would have gone up slightly. That is the reason Nestle continues to deliver top line and bottom line, and it continues to deliver the stock price it delivers. So please remember, you are causing the inflation by your consumption. The best way to beat that inflation is to invest in that area which is benefited by the inflation. It is benefited in equity market. Up till now, as I said, it was the foreign investors who benefited from it. You went to HDFC Bank, you created the accounts and you took the loans, but the benefit went to foreign investors. Now you have to decide. It is your market, whether you will benefit or not. You are the owner of this market. You are the driver of this market. Just visualize it's a horse which you feed. You give the fodder to the horse, but you don't know how to ride the horse. You don't know how to ride the horse, but you are the one who gives the fodder to the horse. Up till now, someone else was riding this horse and benefiting, not you. You don't know how to ride the horse, hence you came and sat in a vehicle, in a cart which is connected to this horse. That vehicle is known as mutual fund. It will take you to your goal. So you are going to drive this market and you are going to be benefited by this market. This clock that you see in front of you is your habit. SIP also is just like a habit. Don't stop your SIP. If you believe in those 3 questions, yes is the answer for those 3 questions of inflation, population growth, and consumption. Please don't ignore the equity market. Stay invested in the SIPs. So these are the 2 behavioral aspects of SIPs. You are the driving force in both the SIP book as well as the valuation of the stocks. You drive both of it. Don't get down from this horse. SIP is a step-by-step way to wealth creation. Let's quickly look at how an SIP works. You have a bank in which there's an account in which there is a money, there's your money. You decide a scheme, say Birla Equity, you decide a duration 5 years, you decide a value 5,000, you decide a date 5th. After that, you don't have to do anything. Automatically, money will be debited on 5th of every month. If it's a holiday, the next working day, it will be invested in the scheme. SIP value divided by the NAV is the units that you get. At any point of time, the number of units multiplied by the NAV on that day is the wealth you have created. That is how SIP works, very basic thing. But a lot of people ask us in presentation, I have a SIP, but I don't have a mutual fund. So until 10% of the people get confused between SIP and mutual fund. SIP is not a standalone product. SIP is done in a mutual fund itself. Now I require participation from all of you. We have a very nice focus crowd. You have been driving the markets. If all of you can answer in the chat box, that will really help me and give me a lot of insight into the mind of the audience also. What do you think is the reason for success or the key to success? Talent, ambition, or something else? You have the examples in front of you: Rajesh Khanna and Amitabh Bachchan, a Tendulkar and a Kambli, a Bacha and a Honey Singh. What really differentiates an Amitabh and a Rajesh Khanna, a Sachin and a Kambli, a Honey Singh and a Bacha? All are contemporaries. Rajesh Khanna, Amitabh went launched almost the same time, had the same directors. Sachin Kambli went to the same school, same teacher, same ground, same debut. Thanks, Kaushik ji, Kaushank ji, Rakesh ji. Thanks. All of you can please give the answer. It would be really good if all the 83 people can give the answers. Your experience of life, what does it tell you? What is more important, talent or ambition or something else? Talent or ambition or something else. It can be anything which you feel has been your experience. Please share it over here. We are going to connect it to investments. Thanks, Samarendra ji. Thanks, Jitendra ji, Kevin, Amol, Kaushank ji, Vinayak. Patience Vinayak is saying yes. See, all of you are right. Networking is a very important point, the practical point of networking, correct. Umesh Ukani ji, passion, yes, you got to really believe, you got to really want to do that work. Consistency, Ratna ji, thanks. Mangesh Nayak, discipline, Amitabh, yes. Kevin, passion, thanks Kevin. All of you, please give your experience. आपका life का क्या सार है? आप यहाँ पे बता दो. What do you feel your life experience tells you? What is more important to succeed? Talent, ambition, or is it something else? Is it something else? It can be anything. It can be luck. It can be luck. It can be anything. You can just be, be at the right place at the right time. Anything, whatever you feel. The more people give the answer, it will be good for us. Talent and luck. Thanks, Swati ji. Passion and hard work. Consistency. Enjoy doing their work. Yeah. Try to be more better. Yes. If more people can contribute, it will be great. Amol ji saying, don't run for money, just work sincerely. Yeah. Sincerity is very important. Correct, Amol ji. Thanks. Ambition to make your talent productive. Yeah, Varun ji has given a very good insight. Thanks, Varun ji. Every day should feel like a student. Ratna Chaitanya ji. Learning never should stop, correct? Excellence in whatever you do, Akhil ji. Thanks everyone. Fantastic answers by everyone. Really positive answers by all of you. Rakesh ji saying sincerity. According to me, all of you are saying surely right. I'll just try to put it in simple words. Santosh ji saying, have faith in yourself and stick to your work. Umesh ji, people run for short-term goal and longer they avoid, correct. You got to stay put. Correct. All of you are correct, and all of you have given me really good amount of positivity. I'm really thankful to all of you. A lot of positivity we require in these times. So thanks to all of you for the positive answers. We are going to correlate it to investments. These are contemporaries, but these guys faded out and these guys became superstars because of according discipline. A lot of people said consistency. A couple of people said discipline also. A lot of people said passion. But it is discipline that really even Sachin is disciplined. Sachin would always practice those 500 balls every morning, even if there's a Kenya match. So it is really consistent discipline that differentiates, the best from the better. They say nothing is the enemy of best better. Amitabh saw his ups and downs, maybe such ups and downs came back strongly. They became the superstars because of consistency and discipline. Discipline has a slight am I audible? Dheeraj?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
In the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I was saying that what really differentiates these people from the other people is their discipline, and discipline has a slight negative connotation to it. Like someone cannot say that I have a discipline of having 4 in the evening every day. That is not discipline. You enjoy doing that. Discipline is say waking up at 6 every morning and going for a 10-kilometer run in spite of the rains or the cold weather. So discipline typically has a negative connotation to it, painful, I would say. When it is slightly painful, you still do it, is discipline. When you still have doubts, you continue, that is discipline. SIP is on a similar term right now. People are having doubts on the returns and overall concept of SIP. At this time, we need to believe in SIP. SIP is consistent and disciplined in itself. That is the fulcrum of SIP. Only thing you have to do is do nothing. SIP will do its work. Just like in Corona, you and me cannot change anything. Corona will be handled by the government, the doctors, and the scientists. What we have to do is maintain social distance, maintain hygiene, and wear a mask when you go out. If all 130 crore did, Corona would vanish in 15 days, but we are not doing it. Similarly, in investments, you and me cannot decide or cannot influence what will happen to sectors, economy, GDP, politics, economics, kaun aayega, kaun jayega. What you and me can do is do SIP and just stay away from it. Let it do its work. Let it do its work and it will create wealth for you. So believe in discipline. This is the time your discipline might be getting a bit shaky, but please stick to it. So these are the three behavioral parts of how SIP is working and driving the markets and how discipline is the fulcrum of an SIP. The second part is when you do SIP, do it for a plan, do it for a goal. Avoid doing SIP just for wealth creation. Keep a goal in mind, have a duration and a range in mind, and then go for it. There's a SIP for every goal. Let us see how to go about doing this goal planning. Let us look at two technical powers of SIP now, how SIP delivers returns. Everyone knows it, but we are revisiting it. Believe me, it will help you. The first technical power of SIP is the power of compounding. As Einstein has said, it is the eighth wonder of the world. The one who realizes it earns, one who doesn't understand has to suffer. When you pay the EMI, you are suffering because you don't understand it works on compounding. Example is in front of you, two people doing a SIP of 5,000 each, Ramesh and Kamlesh. Ramesh does it for 30 years, Kamlesh does it for 20 years. 5,000 a month is 60,000 a year, 6 lakhs in 10 years. Ramesh invests 18 lakhs, Kamlesh invests 12 lakhs. Both of them get 12% return, but Ramesh's 18 lakh becomes 1.75 CR. Kamlesh's 12 lakh becomes 50 lakhs. The difference is 1.25 CR because the 6 lakhs gap, 12 lakhs and 18 lakhs, the 6 lakhs which got invested compounded at 12% for 10 years. Whether you start early 10 years or you stay invested additional for 10 years, whichever way you look at it. So just look at it. The investment difference is just 6 lakhs over a period of 10 years. And that difference is giving you the alpha of 1.25 CR. That is the power of compounding. So please let power of compounding work for you. by staying invested for longer period of time. Again, at cricket, Sachin and Dravid came at the same time. Great players have the same average. Sachin started earlier, played for a longer time, 89 to 2013. Dravid played from 94 till 2011. So naturally, Sachin had more centuries and more runs. Start early, stay long, and you will create wealth for yourself through compounding. As I said, many aspirations. One route is SIP, decide your goal and invest. Three things keep on getting costly: food, healthcare, and education. So you might be able to negotiate on food and healthcare because that is the wear and tear that you will bear. But on kids' education, you should not compromise because the demand for education is going up. The small statistics in front of you. In the past decade, the number of people appearing for IITs and medical has gone up 6 times. Just appearing. I did my MBA 15 years back at 40,000. Today, a kindergarten is about 80,000. So the kid is starting at 80,000 is expensive. By the time he reaches his MBA, I don't know how much that cost will be because that 40,000 MBA which I did is currently going at about 8 lakhs a year. If you don't plan for the child's education, you have to end up taking a loan. Don't put your kid into the habit of taking loans. Give him the habit of saving. Because if you take the loan, the kid has to pay the EMI for the next 5 years after his post graduation. Then he gets married, buys the house, another 15 years he pays the EMI. So the next 20 years of his life is stuck in debt. Don't give that habit of getting into debt. Inculcate the habit of saving by you yourself doing it for the kid. I'll give you a quick elevator pitch on how to do goal planning quickly within 10 seconds, how you can do goal planning for yourself or for your advisors or for your investors. Please pay attention to this slide. It will really help you a lot. It is based on the power of compounding. If an SIP is of 10,000 for 10 years, that's 1.2 lakhs a year, 12 lakhs in 10 years. If you get an IRR of 13%, your 12 lakhs becomes 24 lakhs. As simple as that. So if in 10 years you get 13% returns, IRR, on a SIP, your money doubles. That is the first you will need to keep in mind. Money invested in 10 years if you get 13%. But the question is if. If is basically a short form for market mutual fund are subject to market risk. So there's no guarantee of 13%. But when you discuss with your advisor, he will give you a tentative figure, maybe GDP plus inflation, rates plus inflation, whichever ways you look at it. You have a certain estimate which you keep in mind. But 13 is no guarantee. Then how do you go about it? The next elevator pitch is this. We saw that an SIP doubles in 10 years with 13% IRR. In case you're unlucky and you get lesser returns than that, say you get a 10%, just carry on the SIP for 3 more years. The same 10,000 SIP in 10 years invest 12 lakhs, in 13 years invest 15.5 lakhs. At an IRR of 10%, your money becomes 30 lakhs. It doubles. It's a perfect crisscross. It's a perfect crisscross. In 10 years, if you get 13% IRR, your money doubles. If you're unlucky, wait for 3 more years. In 13 years at 10% IRR, you will double your money. So it is 10, 13, 13, 10. Just remember that. And in case you don't plan to get into equity at 8%, say your PPF, it takes 16 years to double your money. As long as you believe equity will give you higher than that, there is no reason to stay out of equity. Because if you get down from this vehicle, the other vehicle is far slower than this. Plus, there's a taxation angle. That taxation is very high, equity taxation is very low, 10%, and as per income tax slab, equity is just 10% of the gains. So remember the taxation angle and the perceived slower rate of return in debt. Just remember 10% money doubles in 13 years, at 13% your money doubles in 10 years. Just remember the 10-13 rule and you will be home, believe me you. Because most people make the mistake of putting, say, for 3 years and this much money I want, 5 years and X money I want, or Y money I want. It may or may not happen. But if you have put a range of returns that it takes 10 to 13 years to double your money at exactly ulta rate of return, 13 to 10. So you start with a 10,000 SIP, you get 25 to 30 lakhs in 10 to 13 years. Now you can do your goal planning, whichever goal you want to plan for. So that is based on power of compounding. Now, the second technical power of SIP, the rupee cost averaging. Again, I require all of you to participate. I request all of you, please give answer in the next slide. We all know how SIP works. At lower levels, you get more units. In an SIP, when the markets fall, all of them recover and create wealth for you. We are going to take two examples in the next slide, and I request all the 81 people to please give the answer for the next two questions. It's an SIP illustration. I've done an SIP of 3,000. First month the NAV is 30, then the market falls 30% the way it has fallen now, and my NAV is 20. Naturally, I'm at a loss right now. So it is say 1st March and 1st April. The investor says on 2nd April, I want to reach a no profit, no loss situation, break even. Na nafa, na nuksan. I want it on 2nd of April. I want the markets to recover. How much will the markets recover, or how much should be the NAV for you to reach a no profit, no loss situation? I request all of you to please give the answer in the chat box. At what NAV will you be at no profit, no loss? First units have gone at 30. Sorry, first SIP has gone at 30. Second SIP has gone at 20. Please give the answer. Thanks, Umesh, Kushank, Vinayak, Chetan. All of you, please, all of you give the answers. All of you, please give your answer in the chat box. It is very important to understand that. Very important to understand this. You understand this, half of your work is done. You'll never question the SIP after that. Amol is saying 24, somebody 25, 25, 25. All of you, please. The more the people give answer, the better it is. And give it in the chat box. Please not in the Q&A. Please give answer in the chat box, which is there. The chat option is there in your corner. Please give the answer there. A few people are giving it in the Q&A. In the chat box, please, in the chat box, I request in the chat box. The side mein chat box hai. If you go to the more option, you just take the cursor there, you'll find the chat option. Please give the answer there. Just give your answer over there. What, according to you, is the NAV at which you'll have a no profit, no loss? There's nothing like right and wrong. The person who makes an effort only can go right and wrong. Aapne effort dal diya, usi mein all of you are correct. Anyone who puts an effort basically is the right person. Just give your answer there in the chat box. At what NAV will you be at a break even? No profit, no loss. No profit, no loss. Thanks to all of you wonderful people. You have done a great job by coming into these assets, helping and supporting the markets. And now this training will help us all. Maybe another 10-15 minutes. And we shall understand how to answer those two questions. So we'll answer pure value also. Chaliye, now the second part of the question. The NAV, I mean the markets continue that way. The SIP also continues this way. The markets don't recover. My third installment also goes at 20. Now please tell me, and I request the participants, don't give the calculations, just give your answers for everybody's sake. We want all of us to understand. Just give your answer in the chat box. Now what will be your break even? 30, 20, 20. पहले हमने देखा 30, 20, now 30, 20, 20. Please give your answer. What is your break even now? No profit, no loss. कितने पे है? Thanks, Koshan ji. Is the first one to answer. Prabhanjan ji, Raj ji, thank you. Thanks to everyone. Raj, Rakesh, Pradeep ji, thank you. We'll just wait for half a minute. Mostly it's 23, people are saying 23.33, 23, 22, 23, 22. Add one SIP again. Yeah, that is the third SIP, Santoshji. Your third SIP is now. Say it is 1st March, 1st April, 1st May. On the 2nd of May, what is my break-even NAV? That is what my question is. Good. More people are participating this time. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Okay. We can stop the answers. Let us try to see the answer, the correct answer now. Couple of people gave the answer correct both the times. Amolji and one more gentleman. I didn't remember his name. So let us see how the working goes. All of you did the right thing by attempting. बस उसी में सबका सही हो गया. In the first instance, we want rupee cost averaging, not just averaging. In the first instance, let us look at how many units you got. In the first month, NAV is 30. So the units that you got is 100. Next month you got 150 units. Total is 250. Invested is 6,000. 6,000 divided by 250 is 24. Same next month onwards, NAV is 22 and a half because units are 400. What I want to convey over here is in rupee cost averaging, we all know that you get more units. What a lot of us forgot is your NAV also falls exponentially and it goes closer to today's NAV. In first month it is 24, in second month it is 22 and a half. It is much closer to 20 than what it was yesterday. So your recovery will be much faster, much smarter over there. In IPL terms, you have started the super over of your SIP. Your SIP super over has started in the past 3 months ever since the markets fell. You are getting more and more units. You are getting more and more units as the markets are falling. Now, all of you are Virat Kohli of investment. Do you want to play only one super over or you want to play all the 5 super overs? Obviously, you want to play all the 5 super overs. So whether this correction is going to go on for 6 months or 2 years, I don't care. As long as I'm in a position to carry on with my SIP, I will not stop it because my super over has started. I'm getting more units, but my NAV is falling exponentially. Whenever the market recovers, my gains will be much, much better the longer is the lower NAV available. So this is the fulcrum of SIP, rupee cost averaging. Your NAV is falling. Most people gave 23 and 24 answer. They did a simple averaging, not rupee cost averaging. And that's where investors and advisors make a mistake. If you convey this to your investor and advisor, there is no reason that he will stop the SIP after that. Once he understands that he is in the middle of the ground playing his super over of SIP, he should not get out of it. So these are the 4 powers of SIP. SIP being the driver of the market, the SIP book. You being the owners and drivers of this market, hence you fit through SIP is the second power. Third is discipline. Fourth is compounding, and fifth and the fulcrum is rupee cost averaging. So all these powers are getting executed right now. Why I conveyed in such detail these 5 simple things? All of them have been activated right now. Sabka kaam chalu ho gaya. All the 5 have started to play. Now please don't stop them from playing. Please don't stop them from playing. Let them play out. To answer the question directly, this is your situation. Your returns are negative. You started in a bull phase and now you have a corona bear. First, let's look at the history of SIP returns in Sensex. I've taken a 30,000 rupees Sensex SIP. That is annually 3.6 lakhs. The 1 year rolling return is this way. Look at it. It's so volatile. Market ऊपर जाता है और market नीचे गिर जाता है. That is the nature of market. We are not able to handle volatility. Hence, we decided to benefit from that volatility by investing in a SIP. How? By rupee cost and compounding. Like inflation is my adversary in an FD, it becomes my friend in equities. Volatility is my adversary for lump sum, but in SIP it is my biggest friend because it gives me rupee cost and compounding. That is the nature of market, being volatile. We are learning to live with it, not just live with it, benefit with it. Look at 3 years, it still goes negative multiple times. And look at 5 years, it also goes negative, but much less. The instances are far lesser, very few. And in a way, you can say a 5-year SIP negative also means that you're kind of bottomed out in the market. We just saw that, no? If you see the latest bounce back. A 5-year SIP going negative, market is kind of bottoming out. Again, the longer you stay, the better it is. The longer you stay, the better it is. And it's not the first time that this has happened. But if you see that 5-year, 3-year chart, it is the first time it has happened in the past 3 years and 5 years. 2015 और 2016 के पहले हमने 3 और 5 साल का नेगेटिव रिटर्न नहीं देखा है SIP. First thing, relax. It's not the first time it has gone negative. I have quantified what I just spoke about the 3-year SIP. It has gone negative 26 times in past 22 years. In 2 decades, it has gone 26 times. If you see that chart, sorry, the 3-year SIP chart, those all negative instances, if I put together, it counts to 26, except the past 2 months. The instances are 26, from right from minus 50 rupees to minus 12 rupees. Now, why it went negative? It's because of all these domestic and international events. Pokhran, Kargil, Y2K, KP scam, 9/11, 2008 crisis, policy paralysis, demonetization. You saw negative returns. Now you had an option of redeeming the SIP during these 26 instances in past 2 decades, or you stay in the SIP for 2 more years. You redeem, it's your loss. But in case you don't redeem and you stayed invested for 2 more years, 1,000 rupee SIP in 3 years is 36,000. In another 2 years, it will become 60,000. See what happens. Not a single SIP stayed negative. All of them became positive and handsomely positive. The minimum gain you see is 14,000. The maximum gain is 42,000 on a 5-year SIP. That's superb returns. Why? Rupee cost and compounding. All the units which were negative and went negative, you continued for 2 more years. The average price fell, and when the markets recovered, you made handsome returns. Same you see over here. For a multi-cap scheme, the instances go up, schemes are more volatile. The trend is the same. None of the SIPs which are negative stayed negative. All of them became positive and very nicely positive. Very good returns they gave after waiting for 2 more years. So this is the history of market. And what is history? What has happened? What is happening? Which will keep on happening is what we say in Indian terms, itihas. So this has been happening for the past 2 decades. Will it again repeat itself? Only time will tell. But that, according to me, gives me the confidence to stay invested in myself. Because I want that rupee cost and compounding to work. So that's my answer to answer that first question. Should I stop my SIP? No. History has shown if you put faith in the SIP in bad times, it has rewarded you very, very well by showing your discipline, rupee cost and compounding. Now the second question is about changing SIP scheme. It is a bit like changing your lane at a toll naga. You move your car, the lane which you are in starts moving and the other lane stops. A lot of people are facing problems in value and mid cap. The returns are abysmal. The 3-year returns, these are slightly, they have recovered actually, but say from May 17 to May 2020, 1,000 rupee SIP is going at anywhere between 6 to 12,000 negatives. A lot of people say, let me get out of mid cap and small cap and value. And gold and pharma is doing really well right now. The top performers are pharma funds and gold funds, not even large caps. So can we think of that? Let's do asset allocation, stuff like that. And let us get out of this mid cap and value. The question is, why do you feel so? You have to go, why did you first select that value fund and mid cap fund? Because 3 years back, the 3-year returns were this. From May 14 to May 17, you are getting a 22 to 23% returns. Anywhere between 13 to 14,000 you were earning on a 36,000 investment in a 3-year SIP. And what was gold and pharma giving them? Nothing. Zilch. The worst investor is the person who stops a gold fund SIP and shifts all the money to value and starts a new value SIP. Double loss. The smartest guy is who did the asset allocation, maintain his gold SIP. This 3-year SIP in the next 3 years invested 72,000 and the current value would be 105, 105,000. So if you still want to change the scheme, do change it, but don't just change the Excel return. Look at it fundamentally, whether or not you want to change that scheme. Whether or not you want to change that scheme. You got to have a very strong reason for shifting that scheme, not just chasing returns, because you're going to make the same mistake what you did 3 years back. Saurabh, Dheeraj, we'll be discussing CSIP. Dhiren?
Century SIP, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Dhiren. So that was about answering those two questions. Now a very unique product of Birla known as CSIP, Century SIP, where we offer free insurance with SIP. What I say is this, it's a bit like the masala puri which you get out of pani puri. It's a bit like this masala puri which you get after the pani puri. Why does this pani puri wala guy give this free masala puri? It's for customer loyalty. Similarly, we are giving free insurance with SIP. As I said, to manage the behavior of the investor, we want to keep you invested for longer to avoid being indisciplined. It's a very simple illustration, simple product. Between the age of 18 to 51, if you are, you can get insurance up to 100 times. The insurance carries on till the age of 60 if you carry on with the SIP. The illustration is simple. First year 10 times, second year 50 times, third year 100 times the SIP. The good part is you don't require any active income for this. A lot of times insurance companies say there is no salary, no income, then you will not get insurance. In CSIP, such things are not required. You do the SIP, you get the insurance. This is the illustration, very simple one. If you do a 10,000 SIP, minimum is 1,000. If you do a 10,000 SIP in any of the equity schemes, the life insurance is first year 10 times. So for a 10,000 SIP, it is 1 lakh. If for a 1,000 SIP, it would be 10,000. Second year onward, it becomes 5 lakhs, 50 times, and third year onward, it is 100 times, 10 lakhs, as long as the SIP carries on. As long as the SIP is on, you get the insurance till the age of 60. If you stop or redeem the SIP, the insurance goes. Even if the SIP is on and you redeem the Purana units, the SIP, the insurance goes. But if you do the SIP for 3 years, now this is a unique point. A lot of people are not aware. If you do SIP for 3 years but stop it and don't redeem it, then the fund value becomes the insurance value. For instance, you did a 10,000 rupee SIP and you did it for 3 years. So you invested 3.6 lakhs, but you don't redeem it and you just keep it that way. The current value, say in the fourth year, is 4.2 lakhs. If the SIP is stopped but not redeemed and something goes wrong, the claim is of 4.2 lakhs. And the nominee gets 4.2 of claim plus the 4.2 of investment. These are the salient features. It is free. Take the insurance, the NAV is the same, units are the same, so it's free. I paid from the scheme charges. It's a Birla Insurance Group policy. You get certificates at your home for all the years. Active income is not required, ideal for homemakers in all schemes except ETF, index, and pharma. It's available on one debt scheme also in form of RSP. The maximum limit is 50 lakhs. So even if you do a 1 lakh SIP, you will not get a 1 CR insurance. The insurance will be 50 lakhs. Now the last part of the presentation, debt SIPs. It's a bit like going at the speed of a tortoise, but it has its own benefits. Here would be volatile like equity, but a tortoise would go gradually with less volatility. So it gives you less volatility, predictable returns, and asset allocation. These are the latest returns of our debt SIP in low duration. Look at it. It's almost the same for 1, 3, or 5 years. The rolling returns of the same fund are this way. In a SIP of 10,000, plus annually 1.2 lakhs. Look at it, almost flat returns. 3 years almost flat, 5 years almost flat. So you can look at debt SIPs also. Someone who's very, very averse, you can to equity, you can look at debt SIPs also. For contingency fund and stuff like that, surely you can look at debt SIPs. That's a huge opportunity and requirement which has come up now. So with that, we are reaching to the end of the presentation. Stay indoors, stay safe. The meaning of SIP also has changed now. It is stay invested to be powerful. Stay invested. Just stay invested. Don't let the SIP stop. Let the discipline, compounding, and rupee cost averaging execute itself, and you will be healthy and happy. So I'll stop sharing the presentation. If we have any questions, we can take them. Dhiren, over to you.
Thank you, Shailendra. It was really a very good presentation, and I hope all our partners and our team members have enjoyed it. So I just saw by people were interacting a lot by whatever questions you have asked. So it was really an entertaining one. So by understanding this. So I think our partners and our team will be able to guide their investors well and tell them why we should not stop our SIP and why we should continue our SIP in a better way. So thank you very much, Shailendra. So I will just tell Abhishek, we can open the lines if our participants have any queries related to this, our session. So you can just,
There is one query.
yeah.
Should we stay and advise SIP in small and mid cap along with large cap? Nowadays, PE valuation is very low in small and mid cap. To answer Amolji, the first thing is goal. What is the goal of the SIP and what duration? So for anything less than 5 years, you should not go for small and mid. You should stick to a large and multi cap for 5 years. Only above 5 years, you can look at small and mid SIPs. And second is asset allocation. That in the total asset allocation for the investor, if there's space for small and mid, only then you should give small and mid. Just like every sector has its cycles, and we saw right now in that chart, 3 years back they were number one, now they are the worst. So who knows? Maybe the tables will turn, and maybe they can do again what we saw with pharma and gold. Gold did nothing for 7 years, no returns, and suddenly it is even 50% returns. So we got to understand the cycles, but the first is understanding the duration and goal and the broader asset allocation. In case that is justified, only then you can look at small and mid. But surely, small and mid is required as asset allocation in the overall scheme of things for any investor. Which debt fund is suitable for SIP? As I said to Prasannaji, low duration funds. From Birla, we have a scheme known as ABSL low duration. The name of the scheme itself is ABSL low duration. I think two questions were there, Dhiren. From Prasannaji, I have answered, and from Amol also.
Yeah,
If there are any more questions, you can take them.
yeah. I would just request all the participants, if you have any queries, you can just ask in our Q&A box.
There are no questions.
Shailendra, I
Yeah,
think there are no more
yeah,
questions.
there are no more questions. Yeah, good, cool, no problem,
Yeah.
no problem.
So,
Saurabh is also there, I think, from Birla. Saurabh has to ask anything. Saurabh, you want to ask? You want to add anything? Saurabh Singh?
Yeah, I'm there. Hi.
Yeah, hi, you
yeah,
want to
hi
add
Saurabh.
something?
Hi, Dhiren. Yeah, so let's before closing it off, so quickly to all the participants, and thanks Shailendra for this wonderful insight that why someone should do SIP and why we should not especially change the SIP schemes or not stop at the SIP by just looking at the negative returns. So I personally feel that if the first 3 years of your SIP is negative, which means you are entered in the golden period. You have averaged out all your investments, and that's a very good opportunity for you to continue to stay invested and give a trust to the equity market, right? Because if you're trusting to the equity markets, at the end you would be creating your wealth, and you would be able to fulfill your dreams. And especially when you talk about Birla, what else you want? When you're getting a free insurance cover with SIP. So that is once again a beautiful concept that you all should look at to it. If you personally are doing an SIP and you don't have insurance cover, it's like you are missing a free gift, right? So just ensure, speak to your financial advisor, get in touch with them, how to opt for this, and get yourself registered for the free insurance concept, right? Because it's a win-win situation for you only. I'm not charging anything, neither I'm deducting anything. It's a clear-cut win-win situation for you. So that's the two wonderful things which we have, right? You should opt for that. And thanks the entire Nirmal Bang team.
Saurabh, there are 4 questions in the Q&A. In the chat box, no one has put it, but there are, Q&A, people have put the questions actually, sorry. You want to have to look at the Q&A?
Yeah. So why ABFMF is okay. So let me quickly take. There's a question by Nilesh. Why ABMF is far behind in overall performance? So Nilesh, I quickly want to share because I can't share it right now. I will share it with the team. If you look at it, the 2-month performance, right? Just the pre-COVID and the post-COVID era. what we have seen when the market have dropped down almost by 35-40%, right? From the same time till now, all my funds are recovered on an average 36% returns. So which clearly indicates that there has been a sharp fall in the market because of the situation. We all know the fact, and the NAV is down by 40% or so. Most of the funds have recovered somewhere between right from the range of 28% to 35%. So the recovery, which is clearly indicates that whatever the portfolio mistake which was there, which we did in past, now it's completely write off. Right? You can take a call and you can start investing in the fresh flows, or the existing also you can keep on hold to see the bounce back. Second is in the guild fund, how we should make an investment, SIP or lump sum. So see, I personally feel that guild has already lost the juice currently. So Mr. Rakesh Sachdeva, so guild has lost the juice currently. If you really want to do an investment in fixed income, maybe through SIP, you can come in my regular savings fund that will fetch you maybe another 75 basis point or almost a 1% over a FD. Lump sum also, you can take a call in any corporate bond fund category, banking PSU category, which is doing very well. Portfolio is also quality wise, and the liquidity is also very well as compared to any other fund houses. So that these two things you can take a call and you can consider that. So we have a next question from Mr. Mangesh Nayak. Which best fund of ABSF is consistent with time horizon for 1 year? So Mangesh, I would request, forget about Aditya Birla. I request not to do a SIP, for 1 year, because it's a very, risky call. You may make a return, or you may not, right? But looking at the data which Shailendra also explained, the moment if you're doing it for a longer term, maybe a 5 years, a 10 years, and especially a goal-based SIP, this is a huge probability and a confidence from any of the organization's side that your end result would be superb, right? So if you want to start an SIP, you can start it in our ABSL Focus Equity Fund, which is a concentrated bet of almost 25 to 26 large cap stocks, which I'm sure if you look at the portfolio, you will never say no to that. And if you want to diversify it, and you can come into our multi-cap option, that is ABSL Equity, which is a combination of a large, mid, and small. Currently, my large and mid exposures are pretty much high. So there also you can take a call in that. So we have next Mr. Amol. Can we do a debt fund SIP, and after market fall we can switch?
That I answered in the chat. Okay. In the chat I've put it. Okay. There's one question from Anand Doshi. If Century SIP, if customer lost income, what will happen? I did not get actually that question. By Samjani was Century SIP, if customer get lost of income.
I think Shailendra is trying to ask, like, suppose is there any insurance cover for that if there is a loss?
No.
I think it is related to that.
No, it's life insurance only. So
yeah, right. It's a purely term cover. So it's purely
it's
life
group life insurance policy of Birla Sun Life. Yeah.
Right. Only in the case of death, something.
Yeah, only in case of death, the claim will be settled. Yeah, I think we have answered even the Q&A wala questions and the chat box.
Yes.
So I think if you are done, we can wrap it.
Yeah, right. So thank you, Shailendra and Saurabh, for a wonderful session. So I hope this will definitely help our team and our business associates. So, and we will just keep such type of sessions in future as well, and require a support for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dhiren. Thanks to Nirmal Bang, thanks to Saurabh and the Birla team for arranging the session, and thanks to all the participants. You have been really wonderful, very interactive, and a lot of good questions came. The quality of questions really was very, very good. So thanks to all of you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Nirmal Bang. Thank you, Dhiren, and thanks, Shailendra, for spending time with us. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.